What's up, guys? Yesterday Apple held an event for the iPad mini, and I believe that there's always two sides to a coin. The one that Apple wants you to see, which is of course going to benefit them and talk about the favorable facts about the iPad mini, and then the other one that they don't want you to see or know about. This is not about Apple, and this is not to bash Apple. This is just presenting the facts to you guys, my audience, my subscribers. First of all, I am a heavy iPad user. If you guys have not seen my iPad versus TF300 video, go ahead and check that out. I use my iPad more than my Nexus 7. As a matter of fact, I use my Nexus 7 very lightly, and as you can see, it's been over 5 days since I last charged it. Because I'm an avid iPad user, I feel that I can tell you my personal experience not only from an operating standpoint of view, but just from the actual device itself. First of all, the display. I'm using the 3rd generation iPad, which has the Retina display, or we'll call it a high PPI display. To me, that is the huge difference. And I'm telling you right now, any device that I get must have a high PPI. I have eyesight problems, so when I look at a display, I can really tell the pixelation, or if I'm reading something, it really hurts my eyes. So the fact that the iPad mini is sporting a 1024 by 768 display, to me, was a huge downfall on Apple releasing such a device. As a matter of fact, when you count the PPI on the iPad mini, it's actually less than the original iPhone. Yes, the iPad mini has a 162 PPI versus the original iPhone had a 164 PPI. I feel like we're going backwards here. You know, with the iPad mini, you are talking about an iPad 2 that has been condensed down. That's basically the technology you're getting for, here comes the next part, the price. Apple was trying to compare with the Nexus 7, but really there's no comparison. The Nexus 7 is $199 for the 16 gigabyte model, and the iPad mini is $329 for the 16 gigabyte model. That is a $130 difference, and it's quite huge, especially if you're paying sales tax, depending on where you live. That could be more than $130. Now, of course, Apple has a way in presenting things and making it seem like the Nexus 7 is not optimized. But what if I told you that that the iPad mini is not optimized either? I mean, we can play that role all day long. So let me show you and give you a few examples of that. So I kind of want to break down Phil Schiller's demo and give you the other side of the coin. One of the things that he kept mentioning was that the new iPad mini was thinner and lighter, thinner and lighter. He mentioned that like several times. Now that's not necessarily a good thing, nor it's a bad thing. It's just a personal opinion. And for what it's worth, the 3rd generation iPad or even 4th generation iPad, which sport a 10-inch display, is much heavier than most new tablets out in the market today. So I don't know why they didn't tell you that their 10-inch version is still a heavyweight, but for what it's worth, I'm just presenting that information. It is just your own personal opinion. The iPhone 5 was getting negative points because it felt cheap because it was so light and thin. So whatever, we're going to forget about that. He did a demo on a website. I'm using the exact same website he did, the Guggenheim.org. Now I'm using the 3rd generation iPad that has a very large resolution. However, it only outputs to 1024 by 768. So you'll see this exact same thing on the iPad mini. However, over here we are doing the native resolution of 1280 by 800, and you can clearly see that you can see a lot more on this side than over here. Over here where it says shop, it's getting cut off. You can clearly see shop, and you may not be able to see with the camera, but it says visitor information down here. I would have to scroll in order to see that on this side. One of the things with the 7-inch tablet is that most people hold it this way. This seems to be more of the comfortable way. I never browse websites this way. This seems a little odd. Now, if you're on a 10-inch tablet, that might be a little different because I could see this happening. But when you're on a 7-inch tablet, you usually hold it with one hand, and it's usually in portrait mode. So here we have eBay, which is one of the applications that they loaded, and they boasted about how the great of an experience you would have with the new iPad and how incredible it was and how terrible of an experience you would have with the Nexus 7. Clearly there is a difference, and clearly I would choose the iPad version, no doubt. However, there's more to it than just that. Let's talk about integrated features with the OS, which I believe matter. Let's move on to a different application like Instagram. Now, both of these are not optimized for tablet. For what it's worth, you can do this with this one. But let's talk about, let's say I wanted to do a picture right now. Now here I can choose from my camera roll, which is the only method I can import a picture. Both of these devices, now let's consider iPad mini, don't have a rear-facing camera. And here, oh wow, what's this? I can pick a picture for my Dropbox that I uploaded yesterday, doing my camera upload that works automatic. Great, let's do one of me here. I'm gonna look funny here. I can't do that with the iPad version. There's my ugly mug. Go ahead, and this was taken directly from Dropbox. Not so with iOS. I can't do that. These are features that they don't want you to know. And most applications, you have more benefits using the Android version. It integrates with the operating system really well. Something that is really missing on the core of Apple. And I think that is more important than an optimized app, because I'll tell you what, my experience is not terrible over here. It still works. And the fact that with Android, actually everything just works. I don't need to convert media files in order to be played or connect the cord and copy them. I can use this as a flash drive. And if I'm not mistaken, based on the dimensions, I mean, I can easily fit this in my pocket. I've shown you guys that in my other videos. With the iPad mini, I looked at the dimensions. It doesn't look like I will be able to do certain things like that. So really, guys, it just comes down to what they want you to see and what benefits them. Now let's talk about build and hardware. Now this is not the iPad mini, obviously, but looking at the pictures, it seems to be the same material as the iPhone 5. Now if you've been to your Apple store lately, you'll notice that most of the iPhone 5, at least I've noticed, are really scuffed on the edges. And this is a problem that we've been reading about. Take a look. Next time you go to your Apple store, you'll notice a lot of the iPhone 5s are either damaged. So with this bad boy over here, I can do this, not a problem. Nothing will happen. I wouldn't even dare to do that with even this iPad. Durability, I can throw this anywhere I want. I usually do. I'll just throw it in my backpack, on the go. This is really durable. I don't know, again, I don't have the iPad mini here, but I'm assuming that it's going to scratch really easily, like most Apple products do. This is not a furniture that's just going to sit there. I want a device, so if you're looking to get one, I would want a device that's durable and it's going to last. The other thing is that this is a quad core and the iPad mini is a dual core. Once again, we're talking about technology that has already been, if you want to call it, outdated. So things to kind of consider. And you know, one of the things that Phil Schiller said is that the number one thing that people do on their iPad is surf the web. If that's the case, I'm telling you right now, guys, the Chromebook is looking really nice. At $250, I think that the Chromebook is a great option that's portable, and I'll tell you right now, actually looking forward to getting one, and I will do a review comparing even tablets to the Chromebook. I think Apple's biggest mistake is that the iPad mini is not priced low enough to steer an Android user away. And I don't think that's even Apple's intention, to be quite honest. Apple is about profits, and they know that they don't have a 7-inch tablet, and people that are already in the Apple ecosystem will automatically jump onto that 7-inch device just because it's something that they don't have. So they're going to make a lot of money. However, when you look at what you're getting, you're probably better off just getting the iPad 2. I mean, let's face it, first of all, the iPad is already a portable device. $70 more will give you a lot more for your money. When you look at the build of materials, the iPad mini should really be priced at a lower spectrum, but I think Apple knows that, and they know that they can benefit with that. I think Apple's strategy is to make a lot of money. I actually feel a little screwed having the 3rd generation iPad. They actually don't even sell this one anymore. They now have the 4th generation. This one was completely kicked off. I bought this a couple of months ago, and now a new one. That's not Apple's strategy, or I should say what Steve Jobs would do. Apple likes to release products through a cycle, usually every year. I feel that they're kind of in a hurry trying to just throw stuff out there, and how that's going to affect them, I don't know. I still like Apple. I enjoy their products, but I wish that the iPad mini would have been a lot more than just that. And with the holidays just right around the corner, the product refresh was probably a smart move on Apple and will have really good profits to show in 2012. Anyhow guys, what did you guys think? Are you guys going to buy an iPad mini? Are you going to wait to see what Google's going to release on Monday of next week? Or are you going to stick with what you have? Let me know. Leave your comments down below. Again guys, if you like technology, please subscribe to my channel. If you want to follow me on what I am doing, Twitter and Google Plus links below. Thanks again for watching. I will see you in my next video, hopefully soon. Adios.